Okay, so I'm pretty sure we've all had drinking tea in this class, different, whether it be hot, iced, black, white, green. We've all had tea experience, the wonders that tea may hold. But I want to ask, why do we drink tea? Maybe, to feel better after having a cold, maybe to soothe the sore throat. Maybe, drink a nice iced tea on a refreshing summer's day. But today I'm going to discuss the importance of drinking tea regularly. Today I will talk about the health benefits, the different kinds of tea, and also which teas to avoid. And according to TUSA.com, they state most tea consumed in the U.S. are iced, which is at a rate of 85%. And then it goes on to say, and about 84% of all tea consumed was black tea, and 15% was green tea. Which I kind of do think is true, because I noticed that I tend to go for iced teas a lot more, and I'm trying to go more for hot teas because there are a lot better for you and stuff. Humans have been drinking tea for ages, and have since believed that tea would mythically provide many health-giving properties. There are differences between those teas. The most common tea is black tea, which is made from fermented leaves. Black tea could reduce the risk of heart attack and stroke, and it also has, properties to help with your lungs, like say you're a smoker or something. If you drink tea, it could reduce those risk factors for lung cancer and stuff like that. And then also there's green tea, and that's made with steamed tea leaves and is loaded with antioxidants. According to WebMD, it states that antioxidants within the green tea may interfere with the growth of bladder, breast, lung, stomach, and pancreatic cancers, which I guess it's a lot of different stuff that it protects against. It doesn't necessarily protect against these cancers, but it just reduces risk factors just by drinking these teas regularly, obviously. White tea is another common tea that is uncured and unfermented. According to WebMD, it says one study showed that white tea has the most potent anti-cancer properties. So I guess if you're really afraid of getting cancer, or you really want to protect against that, drink lots of white tea. That's obviously not going to guarantee anything that you're doing right. White tea, it's not going to guarantee that you aren't going to get cancer, but it does lower those risks and stuff. Some general benefits include all those antioxidants. Also, tea protects your bones. And according to Today Health, it says tea can also contain fluoride, which helps for a lasting smile. And strong teeth. So fluoride just basically helps with your teeth. And tea can also help boost your immune system. So if you're a person that gets sick a lot, which I guess I do, definitely should start drinking a lot more tea, because that can help with getting sick and stuff like that. And if you're a person who tries to stand clear of like coffee, because it makes you jittery or just anxious and stuff, because I know there's a lot of people who don't drink coffee for that reason. Good news, tea actually has less caffeine than coffee. So if you want a little boost but you don't want to get too jittery or anything, then maybe you should start considering drinking tea instead of coffee. And lastly, tea can boost your metabolism. According to Today Health, it says green tea has been shown to actually increase your metabolic rate so that you burn 70 to 80 additional calories by drinking just 5 cups of green tea per day. Also, you could also go out, cut your diet, exercise, but that helps along with doing those things to try to lose weight and raise your metabolism and stuff. But not all teas are good for you, especially those that are sweetened. And I brought some that you should probably stay clear of. I know a lot of people drink this. Arizona tea, the ones that come in this can right here. These are really, it's not going to give you the same amount of antioxidants and stuff, because you would have to drink maybe a lot more tea versus drinking it just from the regular natural tea. Because this is loaded with high fructose corn syrup, which is just processed sugar, and the effects drinking this are not worth your time, basically, your health, because a lot of sugar. It's just not worth it. Instead, you should probably just stick to just regular tea bags, black tea, stuff like that. It's gonna give you a lot more. It's gonna be a lot more healthy, and make sure it's unsweetened and stuff like that, because this stuff not good for you if you're drinking it all the time. Just stick with teas that contain no added sugar to rack up those tea drinking benefits. You want the card? You know I love them. Even though they're not really
No
good.
sweetener.
You go.
You go. With no ice, no sweetener. They're like, it's plain. I'm like, yeah, it's just plain. It tastes better, but it's still. It tastes better, but it's good. Love it.
Really creepy. I don't want to. I know.
Oh, sorry.
I love that.
Vitamin C. How much? 5%. 25%.
Actually, I like it.
How do you do that?
Yeah. No, actually, I think she'll laugh.
Americans, it also depends on
America.
All right, Olivia, the attention device is okay. I think you could find something a little bit more dramatic to pull us in, but it was okay. Your thesis is very clear. There's a good preview of what the content's going to be. And for the most part, I thought that the content was well supported. You provided a few source citations. There was an early reference to cancer prevention that I think needed some source citations on it, but the second one did provide us at least some reference to a WebMD article that you apparently had read. On the visual factors for the presentation, I'm going to start with the body movement issue. You're backed up as far as you can get against the screen. Your legs are crossed at the very beginning of the speech, and that ends up happening again, and it looks awkward. And you have a tendency, I think your anxiety is coming out in your hips. You're kind of swinging your hips back and forth, you know, that sort of thing. Not quite a hula thing, but definitely it's, you know, it's just anxiety is coming out there. So I think that's a little bit of a problem. Your gestures, you've got some good indicators. Sometimes they looked a little bit nervous, but for the most part, I thought that you integrated them into the speech well. Your facial expression is fine. Your eye contact is generally good. I think it's better with the center of the room than it is with the rest of the room. I think you want to try and make an extra effort to engage everybody who's sitting down front and on the sides also. I didn't feel ignored, but I thought maybe sometimes the people in the front corners might have felt a little bit left out. So you want to be consistent about that. When you go to your notes, it's really obvious that you're going to your notes, because it's like you look down, the notes come up, and your voice also changes when you're doing that. And then when you're out of the notes and talking to us again, it's so much better, you know. So see if you can see that difference, and try and get away from having to rely on the notes so much, because it really it's noticeable that you change. And the thing that changes the most is your voice. You drop your voice volume. When you go to your notes, it's like I'm talking, and then now I hear my notes, I'm opening it, and then I'm talking, and then my notes, and it's really obvious that you're changing your focus there, and your voice drops out while you're speaking. For the most part, the transitions are very repetitive, and you end the sentences not with a period, but with an You've got to pay attention to that. I don't think that you're aware that you're doing it as much as you do. I don't want to draw attention to something and make you feel self-conscious about it, but you really seem like you can't get at the end of a sentence without I have to make sure that everybody knows it's the end of the sentence by putting in that word. And it sounds awkward. It doesn't sound fluent when you're speaking. When you're moving from one idea to another, try and find some other catchphrase that you could use, even if it's just a variation of the like and you know sorts of things. At least some variation helps. When it's the same one all the time, it gets noticeable. And that's the problem that you have here. Everybody has some hesitation that they use occasionally when they're doing transitions. I just don't think that you are aware that you're doing that one as much. And I'm trying to draw attention to it for you. All right.